Hello again, everybody. Andrew Rogers here, TST Total Sports Talk, with this special presentation. It's week 7 in the NFL, and this is our game picks video. Haven't done one of these in a while. I do apologize, but we're going to get up and running. I think we got a pretty good system going now for the picks and how they're going to work week after week. So hopefully I can continue to upload these videos and feature some of our TST insiders, which we're going to do today. Very excited about that. Let's just get you caught up, though. Last week was a bit of a disaster when it came to everybody's picks. Out of our experts in the 14 games that were played last week, the top expert had 7 of 14 correct. 50%, 500. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is with the way the NFL has been so crazy so far. So, like, as you can see, a lot of X's across the board. In the first slate of games, you got X's all over the board, myself included. I didn't do very good at all. I got the first 6 games on the schedule wrong. It really set the toll for how the entire week was going. There were a lot of consensus picks all over the board that, of course, didn't work out. Miami beating Atlanta, that one no one saw coming. Chicago winning in overtime against Baltimore, nobody saw that coming. Green Bay, they lost Aaron Rodgers, that killed them in the game. Minnesota rolled from there. Look at the other slate of games, the afternoon slate of games. You have Pittsburgh beating Kansas City, unfortunately. I was the only one who got that one right. Everybody else was all in Kansas City. You had the New York Giants defeating the Denver Broncos in the Sunday Nighter on NBC. Everyone was on Denver. It's been that way all season long, especially when it comes to these picks, and it's just unbelievable what's happening. I don't know how to explain it, but hopefully we can turn over a new page, turn over a new leaf, and make some noise this week all across the board on our experts pool. So here's how we stand right now in the TST Total Sports Talk NFL Game Picks program. We got Sean Smuck leading the way. He's in the number 1 position after going 7-7 last week. He's tied for first, 33-27, with Marcus Ribson. Marcus went 5-9 last week. He is also at 33-27. Andrew Warren 6-8 last week, 31-29 on the year. He's in the 3rd spot. Jessica Rogers is number 4 at 6-8 last week. She is at an even 30-30. Jason Antonori slots in the 5th spot. He's there, a 3-way tie there, 6-8 last week, 28-32 overall. Mike Flanagan, 4 of 10 last week. He struggled mightily last week in his picks, but he is in the tied for 5th position, slotted in at number 6 at 28-32. Mike Story is at 6-8. Last week, he is at 28-32 as well. After what was the way it was last week with all across the board with these records. And of course, my picks, I still sit in the basement of our league. I went 5-9 last week, 27-33 overall this season. We're very excited now, though, to welcome one of our TST insiders onto the show. Please give it up for Andrew Warren. Andrew, welcome to TST Total Sports Talk.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
Andrew, through week 7 in the NFL now, it's been so unpredictable across the board week after week. What would you say is the biggest struggle when it comes to the results of these games?
Well, it's been surprising, to say the least. Even, just some of the teams that have been pulling off the upsets basically over the course of the season. Some games that you pick, you think are pretty much almost a gimme. And, some just crazy upsets, so far this season.
What would you say would be your strategy from week to week in terms of when you make your picks?
Sometimes I like to, obviously I'll take a look at who I know is healthy. Maybe if a team's at home, opposed to being on the road. Basically, say even games from last year, how they might have matched up. Say if they're like NFC teams versus NFC teams or what have you, or division rivals, that type of thing. But basically, I like to make my picks based on who I think should win, and basically again, based on the health of certain key players, whether it be quarterbacks or wideouts, etc.
Fair enough. Now, with that being said, what are your Week 7 picks?
Okay, for this week I've got Oakland, Buffalo, Carolina, Tennessee, New Orleans, Jacksonville, Arizona, the Jets, Minnesota, Dallas, Pittsburgh, Denver, Seattle, New England, and Philadelphia.
Good stuff all across the board for your picks there. One of the big games that we're following, I noticed that you picked New Orleans Saints against Green Bay with no Aaron Rodgers. How much legitimately of a shot do Green Bay have to win this game?
Yeah, obviously he's a big, the biggest piece for that team. Even if, say, he was playing, I would expect that game to be a shootout. And just for that reason, the new guy, I think what's his name, Hundley, he's a new guy, kind of been thrown into the fire right away. They have, some question marks, even with their running backs banged up. And I still think Drew Brees can put up the points, so I like New Orleans there.
Now, Andrew, the other big matchup we're following is, of course, the Super Bowl rematch, the Sunday nighter this week on NBC between the Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots. You chose New England in this one. Why is that?
You got to give credit where credit's due. New England's a good team. Tom Brady's I'm not a New England fan by any means, but, the man knows how to manage a game, and I think Atlanta's just, with that meltdown in the Super Bowl, I don't like their chances, especially in the spotlight again. And in a fantasy league, I have Matt Ryan as a quarterback, and to say the least, he's been disappointing this year. So I got to take New England there.
Fair enough. Now, when it comes to your picks for this week, you currently stand in third place, 31-29 on the year. How are you feeling about your picks this week?
Not too bad. When I was doing my picks, I was surprised how many road teams I took. But also, I know the way the season's gone, there is going to be a couple of upsets, and a couple teams I took, I thought, maybe on paper they might not be favorites, but as we've seen every week, I think there's still going to be the odd crazy game or upset games, at least a couple. So, that's basically what that boils down to.
We've been speaking with TST insider Andrew Warren. Andrew, thanks for doing this, and good luck this week with your picks.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for having me, Andrew. It's been fun so far, and it's interesting to see everybody's picks and trying to see how well we can do week to week. It's been pretty cool.
Yeah, so we thank Andrew Warren for joining us here on the program TST Total Sports Talk special presentation of the NFL games picks. Our experts have spoken, and so my picks for this week are as follows. I like Kansas City against Oakland. I like Tampa Bay over Buffalo. I like Carolina over Chicago. I like Tennessee over Cleveland. I like the New Orleans Saints over Green Bay. I like the Jacksonville Jaguars over the Indianapolis Colts. I like the LA Rams this week at home against the Arizona Cardinals. I like the New York Jets on the road against Miami. I like the Baltimore Ravens on the road against Minnesota. I like the Dallas Cowboys on the road against San Francisco. I like the Pittsburgh Steelers at home against the Cincinnati Bengals. I like the LA Chargers in an upset at home against the Denver Broncos. I like the Seattle Seahawks on the road in New York against the Giants. I like the New England Patriots at home in the Super Bowl rematch against the Atlanta Falcons. And I like the Philadelphia Eagles on the Monday nighter against the Washington Redskins. Now, as you can see by this graphic, you got a ton of experts on Kansas City this week. A lot of experts on Buffalo. Carolina is the favorite in the experts pick. A couple of Chicago picks there though. Tennessee looks to be the consensus in that one. One expert pick Cleveland. You have New Orleans and Green Bay. Everybody is on New Orleans except for Jason. We got Jacksonville and the favorites against the Indianapolis Colts. There are 3 picks for the Indianapolis Colts there. We got a 5-3 advantage for the LA Rams against the Arizona Cardinals. We got 4-4 split down the middle for the Jets and the Miami Dolphins. Over on the other side, we got Baltimore and Minnesota. Minnesota is our experts are leaning towards there. There are 6 picks for the Vikings, 2 for the Baltimore Ravens. Dallas Cowboys heavily favored here. 7 of our 8 experts have picked them to beat San Francisco this week. Same with Pittsburgh Steelers. We got a 5-3 advantage for the Denver Broncos against the LA Chargers. We got a 7-1 advantage for the Seattle Seahawks. We have a 6-2 advantage for the New England Patriots in the Sunday Nighter, and we are all consensus on the Philadelphia Eagles to defeat the Washington Redskins this upcoming Monday night. That has been our special presentation for TST Total Sports Talk and the NFL Game Picks. Again, like I say, here's how the standings look right now. Sean Smuck leads the way at 33-27, tied with Marcus Ribson at 33-27. Andrew Warren slots third, 31-29. Jessica Rogers at 30-30. Jason Antonori, Mike Flanagan, and Mike Story all tied for 5th at 28-32. And myself, at 8th position, 5-9 last week, 27-33 on the year, looking to improve. This has been Andrew Rogers for this special presentation of TST Total Sports Talk in the NFL Game Picks.